I'm gonna show you the most competitive $30 budget deck of all time. What's going on, guys? My name is Susu from HeadtoHead Battles, and in today's episode, we're gonna put together 3 of these bad boys to build a deck that can beat Kashtira, make Brandon look like child's play, and rest in peace to all the rogue decks out there. Also, real quick, hit that like button and comment down below if you agree or disagree with my card choices and some spicy text you thought up yourself. Anyways, buckle in, sit down. I guess you're already seated. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the first 3 cards I'm playing is Traptrix Putika. On normal summon, you can add to your hand the brand new field spell, which, by the way, is insanely broken, okay? This card also has an effect on special summon, which allows you to banish a monster your opponent controls. The only caveat is they get to special summon any banished monster in the next standby phase, but by that time, you should have a board that can take care of it when it gets there. Next, we're playing 3 Traptrix Murmelio. On normal summon, this card allows you to add any normal hold trap from deck to hand. This card also has a really cool special summon effect, which is a non-once per turn spell and trap removal. It's basically Mystical Space Typhoon, but over and over again. Next, we're playing 3 Traptrix Mantis. On normal summon, you can add any Traptrix monster from the deck to your hand. It also has a really cool second effect where you can return a spell or trap on the field to your hand, and then reset any spell or trap from the hand to the field, which is really cool. Next, we're playing the new God tier extender for the deck, Traptrix Arachno Kampa. This card has a really cool effect which says the first time your set card in the spell and trap zone would be destroyed by a card effect, it won't be destroyed, okay? But now, onto the effect that makes this card an absolute staple in the deck. She has a quick effect special summon from the hand as long as you control a Traptrix monster. That means even if you open with 2 of these, you can normal summon one, special summon the other one from the hand, which will allow you to go into another extender. Now, although this effect does lock you into plants and insects, who cares? You now have the most broken deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Boys, if you guys are enjoying this video, do me a big favor and smash that like button and hit the subscribe, because I'll be doing an in-depth combo guide as well as some live duels where I can show you the smaller nuances of the deck. I also want you to comment down below your own spicy card choices and some of the cool techs you guys are deciding to play. Alright, the next card we're playing are 2 Traptrix Dianeas. When normal summon, you can special summon a Traptrix monster from your graveyard, and on special summon, it allows you to set a normal hold trap from your graveyard, but it does get banished during the next end phase. If you want to counter the banished effect, use the effect of Traptrix Mantis and you're good to go. Next, for our one-ofs, we're playing the 1 Vesiculo and 1 Atrax. These are both flex spots in the deck, so you can replace them with anything, but I do think they deserve some testing. Being able to use normal hold traps from your hand and making it so your opponent cannot negate the activation of trap cards on the field is kind of nuts. Now, to round out our monster lineup, we are playing 3 Ash Blossoms, and hear me out real quick. Kashtira is not the best deck this format. We still have branded, tier variants, and other rogue decks that are going to shape this meta. Ash is going to be extremely potent against all of those decks, so keep this card close. Now, onto our spell cards. The first card we're going to be playing is probably one of the best field spells in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Traptrix Garden. This field spell has 3 really broken effects. 1, it allows you to normal summon another Traptrix from your hand. 2, the first time your plant or insect monster would be destroyed by battle, it's not. And lastly, you can banish one monster you control, which by the way is for cost, and then special summon a Traptrix monster from your hand or graveyard. This deck is actually tier 0 because of this field spell alone. Next, we're playing Pot of Greed, which they renamed Trap-Tantalizing Tune. This card says to discard a level 4 insect or plant or a normal trap and then draw 2 cards. So basically, discard any card from your hand to draw 2. And the craziest part of this card is that negative effect of discarding isn't negative at all, since you can grab the trap back with Dianea or special the monster you discarded with Alamaris or Colaria. This deck is actually the scariest $30 deck I have ever seen. Onto the traps. The first card we're going to be playing is Traptrix. This card allows you to banish one normal trap and then set one with the same name to the field, which you can activate this turn. Just be wary though, you can only activate one more trap for the rest of the turn, but if you're good at the game, this won't matter. If you're bad, yeah, it'll probably matter. Next, we're going to be playing 3 Shade Brigadine. This will always be a staple in this deck, simply due to the fact that you can trigger Sarah turn 1 and also use it to make any generic rank 4 Xyz monster. It's It's such a good card in this deck, you definitely play 3. Now, onto our normal hold traps. First, we are playing 2 Floodgate Trap Holes. This card is insanely good in the format right now because if your opponent summons Kashtira Unicorn and you Floodgate Trap Hole it, not only does your opponent lose the ability to use its effect, they literally cannot XE summon with it or summon any other Kashtira from the hand since they now control a monster on the field. Next, we're playing 2 Traptrix Hold Nightmare, which basically is a Solemn Strike. The only downside to this card is the fact that because it's a when effect, it loses to chain blocking. And on top of that, the monster needs to be special summoned this turn, which means it doesn't work on monsters summoned on prior turns. Still a good 2 of, and a Rafflesia target for sure though. Now, onto the best trap card in the game, Gravedigger's Trap Hole. This card stops any effect activated in the hand, graveyard, or banished pile, and on top of that, it burns your opponent for 2,000 damage. If you activate this 4 times, and I promise you, you can burn your opponent for game. Next, we're playing the 2 of the new Traptrix Hole Lutea. This card is basically Shade Brigadine, but you need to discard a card to use it this turn. Also, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, target 1 Traptrix monster in your graveyard, and special summon it. It basically extends twice. Now, you are only limited to 1 of these effects per turn, but that doesn't matter since its second effect is follow-up for the following turn if you do not have a normal summon in the hand. And for our final card in the deck is going to be the Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare, which we're only playing 1 of due to Kashtira. Not only does it remove a monster with over 2,000 attack, it also acts like a DD Crow in the graveyard, alright? So, that finally rounds out our 40 card main deck, now on to the extra. But before we get there, make sure to slap that like button and comment down below some of your tech choices in the deck, or if you agree or disagree with my deck profile. We should be helping each other out as Traptrix players, seriously, so we can play this deck optimally. Alright, so the first card in our extra deck is going to be Traptrix Sarah. This card allows you to special summon a Traptrix from the deck if either player activates a normal trap, and on top of that, it can set a normal hold trap from the deck if a Traptrix monster activates its effect. Next, we're playing 3 Traptrix Caleria. This card is really cool because when you activate a normal hold trap card, instead of it going to the graveyard, you can set it right back down and use it over and over again. Also, if that wasn't enough, during the end phase, you can summon a Traptrix from your graveyard, let's say a Murmelio, and then pop a back row. I mean, it's kind of broken. Next, we're playing 2 of the brand new Link 3 Traptrix Adipus. This card says that all Traptrix monsters gain 1,000 attack as long as you have a normal trap in your graveyard. Like, that's like hard to do at all. Next, it says you can target face-up cards on the field up to the number of insects or plants you control, and then negate their effects until the end of the turn. And if that wasn't enough, you can destroy one of those negated cards. This card is broken. Just play it. Play 2. Next, we're playing 2 Traptrix Rafflesia. This card can mimic any normal hold trap by sending it from the deck to the graveyard as long as the activation conditions are met. It also has some sick protection effects, so make sure you give it a read. Next, we're playing 2 Traptrix Alamiris. This card can act like a monster reborn for the archetype by detaching 2 cards. And on top of that, if an opponent's monster or monsters leaves the field because of your card effect, you can detach 1 material from this card to target one of them and special summon it to your field without negating their effects, which is insanely good during certain situations and matchups. And finally, we're playing 3 of the new Traptrix Pengui Kula. This card is really cool because it's a searcher and extender. By detaching 1 material, you can add a Traptrix monster from the deck to the hand. It also has a really cool second effect which will allow you to attach one of your opponent's monster to it as material as long as that monster, controlled by your opponent, was sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect. Alright, that's going to be for the extra deck. Let's move over to the side deck. Now, we're going to be going over the side deck really fast because it's supposed to be catered more for your own locals and your own regionals, but with just this structure deck, here's what I came up with. Alright, first, we're going to be playing 3 Evenly Matched. This card is still insanely good against most matchups and even Kashtira, alright? Next, we're going to be playing 3 Retaliating Sea. Which is basically an on-field dimension shifter, which is really neat. Also, you can use it to XC summon on your own turn, which is super powerful, and if your opponent somehow gets it off the field to the graveyard, you can basically add any Traptrix you want. It's a really good card. Now, we're only going to be playing Godala for our Kaiju lineup, since Cumulus is a level 7. Giving my Kashtira opponent a level 7 monster with no way to out it later just doesn't make sense. So, for at least this deck, we're gonna be playing only the 3 Ghidorahs, okay? Next, we're gonna be playing triple Raigeki. A lot of decks in the format just straight up fold to Raigeki, so there's no reason for us not to play it, especially up against like Branded or the Kashtira matchup. And for the final 3 cards in our side deck, we're gonna be playing our 3rd Floodgate Trap Hole, our 3rd Gravediggers, and our Harpy's Feather Duster. Now, you know, using Myrmelio to pop back row is nice and all, but Dustering for 5, it's bittersweet to say the least. Boys, if you think this deck is tier 0 like I do, slap that freaking like button right now. And make sure you're subscribed for the non-budget version of this deck, as well as the combo tutorial. But anyways, I've taken up way too much of your time. My name is Susu from HeadtoHead Battles, signing out.
What's up, guys? If you haven't subscribed, make sure to click that button right there in the middle.
Also, if you haven't watched that video that YouTube is recommending you, it's probably crazy, alright? Go watch it. This is Susu from HeadtoHead Battles,
HeadtoHead Battles,
signing out.